A number of guests are here from our existing lab in Delaware, from the Coatings Technology Center. That group doesn't get to eat those refreshments. They're going to get separate food, family whole back, and they're going to get a tour thanks to Liberty and PIDC. They're going to get a bus tour of the Navy Yard. Last week, Mark Seltzer from PIDC, Liberty, that was once a former job of Mark's. Mark Seltzer joined a number of us at our current facility and gave our lab scientists and technicians a really terrific overview of the Navy Yard, the facility, and what the future for them holds here. And they also graciously provided some buses for a real guided tour of the whole campus. They'll come back after the event for some additional refreshments. If you need the facilities, Penn State very graciously has opened their doors in the building behind me. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce Charlie Shaver, Axalta Coating Systems Chairman and CEO.
All right, thanks, Matt, and thanks all of you. I've got about 2 hours of remarks. I think, Mayor Nutter being late won't be too bad. No, seriously, we'll keep it brief here because I know while it's a great celebration, it's a little less than comfortable for everybody. What I would like to do, though, is introduce a couple of our special guests who are here up front, and then during a couple of our remarks, we're going to recognize a few other people that have been instrumental in getting this project put together. But first of all, I would like to, and you could, they can raise their hand, and you have to stand up if that's okay. First of all, Kathy Maldonado, and she is Secretary of Labor and Industry for the state of Pennsylvania, basically representing our governor today. I think he's working on budget issues and other fun things. The mayor, as we said earlier, the mayor will be joining us in a few minutes. Kenyatta Johnson from the City Council, representing the 2nd District, which includes this area here. So he's building quite an environment over here. John Grady, who's president of the Philadelphia Industrial Development Corporation. We've got Bill Kowski, who's chairman, president, chief executive officer of Liberty Trust, who we've been working with to put all this together. And then last but not least, who'll have a few comments for us today as well, is Chris Lehman, who's principal of the Science Leadership Academy. And thanks again, Chris. I know for a couple of you guys being here today is just, with school starting, we appreciate you taking the time away from the kids to be with us, and hopefully we can repay your kindness one of these days. They didn't tell me we had airplanes and helicopters, no. So, we asked them to move the airport, but that wasn't part of the deal. No. Almost 3 years ago, we moved our global, for those of you not that familiar with Axalta, we became Axalta about 3 years ago, moved up from Wilmington. The first thing we did was we moved our corporate headquarters for the entire company, which is globally over 13,000 employees. We moved our corporate headquarters, which involved a couple hundred people, over to Commerce Square at 20th and Market. In addition to that, in the area, we actually have over 300 employees down at Glen Mills, which encompasses our North America operations and some of our IT organization. So really, we have a great presence already in the Philadelphia proper area as well as the surrounding area. So really, this is a natural for us to take the next step. And while it took us a while to kind of come to the conclusion of what we want to do with our organization, I am pleased today to really formally announce our next Axalta move to Philadelphia. And this is what's going to be called our Global Innovation Center. So I'm pleased to announce that today. I think if all of you look over to your right here, for those of you not familiar with it, this is where the building will be. And I'll give you some specifics on it here in a minute. Those buildings that are there, they promise us will be torn down. And we'll encompass the corner over here and be built back that way. So it's going to be exciting to watch that happen. If you look over here on the LED screen, either now or later, you'll see some of the renderings of the building. Very much a modern style building, 2-story, 175,000 square feet, that'll be ready in 2017. This building, again, which we're calling our Global Innovation Center, is going to house our global research, our product development, and our technical support for our business worldwide. We have over 1,400 people worldwide engaged in our R&D operations, and all that, the global platform work and the support for that will come out of this building. So while we'll move in with roughly 190 people coming up from the Wilmington area, we really view that as the next step for us, and as we grow, so will this facility here. So an exciting time for us, but we'll also have a facility that we think over the next 10, 15 years allows us to grow, allows us to expand, and move our business forward. Really, it's built and paid for by our customers, and I think we never want to lose sight of that. So the focus of our company over the last 3 years has really become everything focused on our platform work for our customers and inviting them to be more of our process as we engage and hopefully have more customer intimacy than we've had in the past as our business. So let me take a few minutes for those of you, again, I mentioned, may not be that familiar with what we do and where you see our products. We're not a household name. You're not going to find us in the supermarket. But our coatings basically are on anything, first of all, anything that rolls. Buses, trucks, cars. If it floats, if it swims, if it flies, you'll see our coatings on it. And if you own a car, I promise you somewhere on that car are our coatings. But even more importantly than that, we talk about coatings. We talk about the paint that's on the exterior. We also do parts that you don't see in the car as well. But our coatings, actually, what they do is they help your car look better, but also run longer and last longer. If you remember 10 years ago, the old days of rusty cars, a lot of our technology has now gone into where most people never even think about waxing their car anymore. That's our technology being employed on vehicles and in the transportation sector. Also, so if you see a truck or a bus or the Amtrak going down the track, that's our coatings on all those vehicles as well. In addition to that, we also do coatings and paint into a variety of industries which every day you touch with your life, but you would not be that familiar with. So, for example, electrical motors, we're the impregnating resin in those motors. We do minuscule electronic components, boat trailers, all types of things that every day touches your life. And again, even the lockers in the schoolrooms, that's our paint on many of those lockers. So everything from just standard industrial paints that you would see to very high-tech paints, that's what our business does. For those products and many more applications, our products prevent corrosion, they resist UV, they deal more in environments like we see here, harsh environments, and in many cases like in marine aerospace, we actually go into unhospitable environments. That's the kind of work that our scientists and our engineers will be doing here in this environment here, taking it to the next level. So we're bringing in many advanced people. One of the things that attracted us to Philadelphia is our access to good business people, but also good technical communities. So we're busy forming relationships, whether that's with Penn State, whether that's with Villanova. Again, I thank you for some of you showing up today to be with us, as well as other universities in the area to help advance our coatings and advance our technology. We also provide hardware and software to help match paint colors. So if you do have the unfortunate circumstance of banging up your car, we're on the other end of the business with the body shops, helping them do color match, helping them make sure when they repair your car, there's a lot of technology goes into lightweighting of vehicles now, aluminum, composites, and a lot of technology goes into being able to paint all that, make it last, and make it match on the car you have. So we do talk a lot in our company about sustainability, and we like to think of sustainability, aside from profitability, is really our products end up making our customers' products last longer and do more. And truly today, whether you think about being a car or whether it's a pipe or a valve in a field or whether it's an airplane in the air, these products lasting longer reduces waste, whether that's in the initial manufacturing or whether it's in just someone being able to use their product longer. So we do feel like we play a key role. While it's kind of behind the scenes, we think we're an important part of that chain. So why did we pick the Naval Yard? We had a lot of people that wanted this facility. Frankly, a lot of people around the world. Some of the competition for this facility were in China, in Germany, places like that, who would love to have this type of a R&D center. Frankly, we believe the Naval Yard provides a lot more than just a great location. It's not that it's close to corporate. In fact, I think if you're in R&D, you don't really want the corporate people around you too much. So I think Joanne and her team, that's not a plus from her standpoint. And I think they have plenty to do without our help. But I do think the Naval Yard provides a terrific environment for forward thinking, idea generation, and collaboration. We're close to world-class technical and business resources here, but I think also we've got people that are engaged in very diverse disciplines, people who will be coming and going all the time. So when we do have guests here, when we have customers here, we want to provide them an environment that helps them excel as they come in as well. And we believe the Naval Yard does that and achieves that for us. As we told Bill and everyone else, the Naval Yard was not the cheapest option out there, but when we add up the intangibles, when we add up the things we believe we get being in the city of Philadelphia, it makes it a plus to be here. So with that, I think I'll step aside, and I'd like to just, my distinct honor to introduce Kathy Mandarino and let her say a few words.
Thank you, Charlie. You know, I didn't realize that I had such a personal connection with your company, but as somebody who seldom washes, let alone waxes her car, and who just had the quarter panel replaced, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's my distinct pleasure to be here on behalf of Governor Wolf. Congratulations to Axalta on what the governor and I both feel is a very smart decision to make the Naval Yard in Philadelphia home to your innovation facility. This project demonstrates positive momentum for Pennsylvania's ability to continue to attract new, good-paying jobs. The collaboration between the governor's action team, the city of Philadelphia and Mayor Nutter, PIDC, it was instrumental in helping Axalta in its continued expansion and growth in our Commonwealth. It's an exciting day for the city of Philadelphia and for the state of Pennsylvania, and both Governor Wolf and I thank you for committing to jobs that pay here in what we believe and what we know is the greatest state in the Union. As Ben Franklin said, without continued growth and progress, such words as improvement, achievement, and success have no meaning. So here is to the continued growth and much success to Axalta. Thank you for coming to Philadelphia's Naval Yard. And with no further ado, my very good friend is somewhere here because I know I saw his face. Let me introduce to you our own mayor, Mayor Michael Nutter.
Secretary Mandarino, thank you very, very much for your kind remarks. And Charlie Shaver, thank you very, very much. Our Chairman and CEO of Axalta Coating Systems, please give Charlie Shaver and all the folks from Axalta a big, big round of applause. We appreciate you so much. As I was standing in the back and listening to Charlie talk about all the coatings and all of those kinds of things, I was trying to figure out what coating he has on, because Charlie has not one bead of sweat on his forehead, and it is officially hot as hell out here, and so something's going on with Axalta. He said anything that moves and this and that and the other thing, but he's got a special thing going on, and we appreciate him so very much in this great company. Our Deputy Mayor, Alan Greenberger, from the City Commerce Department, and of course Dwayne Baum and Luke Butler, PIDC, John Grady and his team, Ann Nevins, and certainly Sam Rhodes and all the folks at those two great organizations. Please recognize them for the great work that they're doing down here. Bill Kowski, Chairman, President, CEO. You got any other titles, Bill? Okay. Of Liberty Property Trust, the great folks who helped to build, market, manage this incredible Philadelphia Navy Yard. And to John Cattuso, the Executive VP, who does all the other things that Bill doesn't do. Please recognize Bill and John for the great work that they're doing here at the Philadelphia Navy Yard. Great group of elected officials who I get the opportunity to work with and to get stuff done, make things happen. We don't obviously do all this work by ourselves here at the city in no particular order, so please don't hold me to it, but I was just sitting next to him. Our city councilman for this district, Councilman Kenyatta Johnson. Go ahead. State Senator Larry Farnese. And State Representative Maria Donatucci. The one, the only, the incomparable, the hardest job in the city of Philadelphia, the school superintendent for Philadelphia, Dr. Height. Dr. Haidt, thank you very, very much. You know, just 2 years ago, I was very, very proud, after a number of conversations with Charlie Shaver and our team working with Axalta, that Axalta took a big leap of faith and decided to call Philadelphia home by moving their global headquarters right here to Philadelphia, out on Commerce Square on Market Street. Now, only 2 years later, Axalta is increasing its presence in Philadelphia with an R&D. Oh, this is hilarious. So apparently someone on the team wasn't sure if I knew what R&D meant. I wrote in research and development. I mean, I'm only 58, but okay. with an R&D center, also known as research and development, for the 3 people who don't know what that is, further emphasizes that this city is a great place to work and live. This is what happens when you're under heat exhaustion. When this new project is complete, Philadelphia will benefit in a number of ways. First, as Charlie mentioned, the creation of 190 additional jobs in our city, an increase in the already jumping buzz about the Navy Yard for additional investments, and the positive economic impact that, of course, the construction and those permanent jobs will have on our city. Philadelphia is one of the nation's leading hubs for innovation. That's our history. It's what we've always been known for and continue to lead the way across America and around the world. When Axalta has realized, what they've realized is that the assets like the Philadelphia Navy Yard, with the talent that comes from our many colleges and universities and from great schools like Science Leadership Academy, and with our business-friendly nature, innovation not only defines Philadelphia's history, it defines our future, and Axalta will be a huge part of the future of the city of Philadelphia. What's more, Axalta joins a growing list of companies that are starting, staying, and growing in Philadelphia. Revzilla here at the Navy Yard, Comcast, Philadelphia Financial, Hill International, the American Bible Society in Center City, Dietz & Watson in the Northeast, and AC Linen in the Southwest. All are growing, creating jobs, and helping Philadelphia to prosper. When you add that to the real estate boom that we're currently experiencing, including major economic developments such as the Gallery, the W Hotel, the Divine Lorraine, there's no more exciting place to invest and grow than in the city of brotherly love and sisterly affection, our place called Philadelphia. With that, let me take the opportunity to introduce to some and present to others, as they say, the councilman for the 2nd Councilmanic District, one of the leading economic development districts in the city of Philadelphia, Councilman Kenyatta Johnson.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today is a celebration. Good afternoon, everyone. You know, events like this always warms my heart because it means that we will be bringing more jobs to the 2nd Councilmanic District. And so I'm truly honored and privileged to be here. I just want to be brief and acknowledge a gentleman I consider my friend, someone who have been supportive of my short time as a public servant since I served in the State House in Harrisburg and making the transition to serve as the councilman in the 2nd Councilmanic District. And as he wrap up his tenure, I always like to take time at any event that I go to acknowledge him as being one of the best mayors here in the city of Philadelphia. Let's honor our good friend, Mayor Michael Nutter. Always advocating and making sure that we are moving the city of Philadelphia forward. And so I want to acknowledge all the team members and stakeholders who have made this project a reality. First and foremost, following up on the remarks by my former colleague in Harrisburg, my former colleague in Harrisburg, Kathleen Mandarino. Let's thank Axalta for picking the city of Philadelphia. You didn't have to, so we want to thank you for being here, specifically at the Philadelphia Navy Yard. Give them a round of applause. See, for me, the more we have these ribbon cuttings and groundbreakings means we have more revenue to fund our schools, to fund our parks, to fund our recreation facilities. And so every time that I get an invitation from the Liberty Property Trust team through Bill Kowski, give him a round of applause, and my good friend John Cattuso and Brian Cohen and Will Agler for taking my team, my staff under his wing with the members of PIDC. It always just inspires me to keep working hard, keep representing the best district here in the city of Philadelphia, which is the second councilmatic district. And so to Axalta, thank you for picking the Philadelphia Navy Yard. We look forward to continue working with you and making sure that we bring jobs, additional revenue here to the city of Philadelphia. And so it's my opportunity and pleasure to introduce, well, I was wondering why we have the CEO of the Philadelphia School District here, and someone just whispered to me that moving forward, a percentage of all development projects here at the Navy Yard is going to be donated to the City of Philadelphia School District. Is that true? It's a joke. Y'all catch it later on. I know. At this time, I want to introduce the outstanding leader of the Philadelphia Industrial Development Corporation, my good friend, Mr. John Grady. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thanks, Councilman. We'll remind our businesses here as they pay taxes that contribution goes back to the city and to the school district. Let's give a hand to Councilman Johnson. He talks a little bit about it. He's pretty humble. When you go around the 2nd District, whether you're in the port, whether you're at the Navy Yard, whether you're in the stadium complex, whether you're at the airport, or whether you're in downtown Philadelphia, you're in the 2nd District of City Council. And Councilman Johnson is a huge advocate and a huge supporter of development and jobs and investment across the district, and it's terrific to have him as a partner. So please recognize all the support and the leadership he's provided. When I was thinking about today's event and the work we've done with Axalta and all the partners that have been recognized, I think one of the things that comes to mind is that one of the hallmarks that has helped define the Navy Yard as one of our region's leading places of work and production over the last 125 years was the history that the property has as a center for innovation and research and production. From the birth of naval aviation just up the street on the Marine Parade Grounds, to the development of catapult systems for aircraft carriers, and to the latest ship systems that are being produced across the street by the Navy's Ship System Engineering Station, the Navy Yard has a long and deserved reputation as an R&D center, I'll just use the abbreviation, that produces new innovations and drives productivity and, most importantly, employment in support of our fleet here. As we continue the process of working with partners to chart a new course for the Navy Yard, a course that continues to present the property as a thriving center for employment and production, this historic legacy of innovation is embraced by a whole new generation of partners. Right next door, the Navy continues to develop the latest ship systems, the propellers and the propulsion technologies that continue to drive innovation and production in the Navy's fleet. Across the street, universities like Penn State, University of Pennsylvania, Villanova, and Drexel collaborate with partners in government and in private industry. Private partners like Alstom Grid and Bayer Material Sciences and United Technology Corporation through their partnership in the Consortium for Building Energy Innovation to define the technologies and the solutions for better energy management and a more energy efficient built environment. The Aker Philadelphia Shipyard has emerged as the most innovative and the most productive commercial shipbuilding facility in the country. And in our life sciences companies here at the Navy Yard, including names like GlaxoSmithKline, Oroco Pharmaceuticals, and Wuxi Aptec Laboratory Services, are developing, producing, and distributing the latest therapies around the world to cure devastating diseases like cancer. Today, we're thrilled to welcome Axalta Coating Systems as our latest partner in this world-class environment of collaboration, partnership, and innovation. Thank you to Charlie, your entire team, particularly Matt Winokur, and your partners in Carlyle Group for the confidence that you have shown in making this investment in Philadelphia and for helping to advance the Navy Yard's dynamic and collaborative campus. As was mentioned earlier, we know that you can invest your money and your people anywhere in the world, and so we look forward to returning the favor by supporting you and your partners as you develop this new facility, as you attract new talent, and you develop new products for customers around the world for generations to come. Everything that we do here at PIDC, and particularly here at the Navy Yard, is in partnership with government and with private industry. And you heard from a lot of folks, but I do want to just reiterate kind of the extraordinary partnership that has formed around this project and around the transformation of this property. First, I want to thank our team at PIDC, Sam Rhodes and Ann Nevins, Wanda Spate, Will Agate, Wendy Weiss and Patrick O'Connor, Jennifer Tran, and numerous others who have worked hard to structure and produce not only this transaction, but to really create this place at the Navy Yard that has become so transformative. Thanks also to our partners in government at the Commonwealth, the Governor's Action Team, the Department of Community Economic Development, and Secretary Mandarino and her colleagues at the Department of Labor and Industry, where creating and training the workforce of the future remains a top priority. And at the city, to the mayor and to Alan Greenberger and his team at the Commerce Department, Dwayne Bum and Sarah Merriman and Luke Butler, who have provided continued leadership over the last 8 years in really cementing the Navy Yard as a place that is dynamic and progressive as it grows as a regional center of employment. And from private industry, thanks again, Charlie and Matt and the entire team at Axalta for this enormous commitment to Philadelphia and to the Navy Yard, and to our private development partners at Liberty Property Trust and Centerra Partners. Liberty and Centerra have been our partners here at the Navy Yard for over 10 years now. They have invested not only their expertise and their credibility and their passion with us, but they've also invested more than $300 million of their resources to establish this Navy Yard as a new place for talent, innovation, employment, and productivity. To speak on behalf of our partners at Liberty and Centerra, it's my pleasure to introduce Bill Kowski, the CEO and Chairman of Liberty Property Trust.
Second to the last speaker, right? I know, right? It's a little warm. Okay. I'll try to be very brief. First, on behalf of Liberty Property Trust, just very excited to be here today at this announcement of Axalta's Global Innovation Center. For me, I think I have 3 words that I'd just like to pivot off of when thinking about this. One, John just used a moment ago. So it's partnership, it's progress, and it's potential. So the partnership everybody has mentioned in the course of their remarks this afternoon. We are very blessed to have been able to work with the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the governor, the legislature, Secretary Mandarino and others here at the Navy Yard and a number of projects across the Commonwealth. We've been blessed to work with the city of Philadelphia, and I joined Councilman Johnson in taking an opportunity in these last few months of the Nutter administration with a public gathering to thank Mayor Nutter, not just for his support here, but for all he has done for this city in advancing it over the last 8 years. Obviously, we also have a partnership with the Commerce Department, Alan and PIDC and John and everybody that he mentioned on his team. We've had a partnership with Centerra. Bill Wilson and Michael Hill, who's with us today, have been with us from the beginning, and we deeply appreciate that. And finally, sort of the last partnership is a new partner, and that's Axalta. We believe that the development business is a business that isn't about us producing a product with a customer. It's us and a customer producing a home for their business. And so we look forward to continuing our relationship as this project gets started and to create just an extraordinary environment for this extraordinary company. So I do want to thank Charlie and the entire Axalta team for giving us your confidence. Progress. John mentioned that too. So we've been here 11 years at the Navy Yard. This is the 15th building that we will develop and own. We actually have one other we developed and sold, 16 of them over time. We're now broke through 1.5 million square feet of development that's either in place or under construction here. And as John said, and it's more like 340 million, but that's okay, who's counting? Dollars that are invested here over that 11-year period. So this represents tremendous continuation of progress here at the Navy Yard as we move forward. And what's the result of partnership and progress? It's potential. And the potential of this Navy Yard, I think, is just extraordinary at what has happened here. This 175,000 square foot building that Ernie McHenry is designing really sort of exemplifies, and as Charlie said, you can see some of the renderings off to the left here, sort of the nature of this place. So we've made a big point of having distinctive architecture. This is a very interesting place just to walk around and see. We've made a point of having this be a sustainable place. So these are LEED buildings. We have green streets. We've created public spaces. The Central Green, which was just opened a little while ago, is perhaps one of the more interesting and extraordinary public spaces in the city of Philadelphia. So it's about creating an environment. And what's that environment about? That environment is about an urban fabric that will do what Charlie needs his company to have and what everybody down here needs, which is we want people to want to work here, to want to be collaborative here, to want to be innovative here. And they're going to do that in an environment that creates that, an urban fabric. You can walk around, you can take a run, you can do exercises, you can go and eat at Urban Outfitters, you can come back here, you can go to the restaurant, as the Vetri restaurant as you come in. This is a place now. It's a community. It's a collaborative community. It's an innovative community. It's an exciting place. So we want to thank Axalta for giving us the confidence to help them be here, and we want to welcome them to this exciting community, to this space where partnership and progress and now potential will be realized. And with that, I think I'm turning it back.
Yeah, I guess after his description of all that, I'm not too sure we can get much work done. So, got all these other things they can do now. So, no, thanks, Bill, and we really you look forward to being part of it. I think all things you say are true, and as we think about talent and not only attracting but retaining talent as we move our company forward. So, a couple more points we want to make as we kind of wrap up here. But I would like to tell, as people who know me know, from time to time I use little stories. But I will, when you think about everybody coming together to work on this, we did have about a 12, 15-month time period there where there was a lot of work, a lot of iterations to get, a state and a city and development corporations and a company on the move all together. But I remember one in particular, and he probably doesn't even remember it, but it was like a Sunday afternoon about 2:30, and I'm sitting there watching a football game, and all of a sudden my phone rings, and I look at it, and sure enough, it's Mayor Nutter. And the reason I know is I put his stuff in my contacts. And he says, hey, Charlie, just wanted to check in. How are you today? And I was thinking, well, I was fine. I was watching the football game, but I guess we're going to talk about something else now. But I think that's just to give credit to the mayor. I mean, that's the tenacity that people said, hey, every day wanting to know what else can we do for Axalta to help you out as you think this thing through. So whether it was John or the mayor or whoever, it took a lot of people with a lot of personal interest to make this happen, and it does not go unappreciated by us. So let me kind of step back a minute and think about things a little bit differently. And again, Bill mentioned, I do want to mention some of the team members going forward, because obviously we are handing things off now to the next group. Erdy McHenry Architecture, Matt Singer Associates, Pannoni Associates, L2 Partridge Architects, and our real estate advisors, CBRE. We now have a whole new team that shifts into gear as we start talking about making this facility become reality, and not just on a bunch of drawings and a bunch of good discussion. So I do want to recognize them in advance. I look forward to, a year and a half from now, coming back to thank them for all their work on it. But shifting gears a little bit here, and before I introduce Chris Lehman, I want to just kind of highlight, because what's most important now is not only getting the bricks and mortar in the ground, but the team that's going to be there. And really a lot of today is about tomorrow. We're, as business leaders, trying to think about, okay, what is this going to look like 5 years from now, 10 years from now? What about the people who are going to populate it? What are they going to be like? I mean, we all have sons and daughters, certain ages, and they're all very, as I learn every day with my kids, we share nothing in common about our view of the future, I don't think. They have more creative ideas in one day than I do in the rest of my career. But a lot of today really is about tomorrow. And, while we're committed to continue to develop those coatings, whatever these may be, we're also committed to build our company. And obviously we're going to do that right here in the Naval Yard and in the city of Philadelphia. But the only way we're going to do that is with the right commitments of the right people. And for us, as we think about recruiting scientists, as we think about recruiting engineers, or even if it's administrative personnel for the building, they're going to be critical to the success of Axalta, not only attracting them but retaining them. And as all of you know in business, you can't just go show up at a college and start teaching people science and technology. So one of the other initiatives we have it's always been near and dear to me as I've worked through my career has been just being focused on science, technology, and I'm a chemical engineer by discipline, so I have a particular affinity to engineering, but it takes all of that. And you don't, as all of you know, you don't just start getting that skill set. You don't wake up one day in college and go, oh, I'm going to be an engineer. It really starts with kids who are in junior high, elementary school, and high school. So one of the things we're spending a lot of time with is our university relations. I mentioned Penn State, Villanova, Texas A&M, my alma mater, for any of you who watched them beat Arizona State over the weekend. And SEC's off, we're off to a good start. But no, I think you have to start in the high schools, you got to start in the junior highs. And so one of our initiatives that we've got, led by Joe McDougall and our HR group, but involves all of our functions in our company, is really continue, in some cases, building on some of DuPont's legacy, which was our prior company, and then we now put the Axalta stamp on that around STEM. And for those of you who aren't that familiar with STEM, it stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. So one of our major initiatives is beginning to work, since we're new in the community, with the school district here to develop STEM programs. We're going to do that, both STEM projects at the college level, but also reaching down into the high school level to get kids who, one, are either already interested in science and technology and engineering, or ones who might be even younger than that. So you will see us over the next few years, assuming we're successful, continuing to work with the blessing of the school district down into the district throughout here in Philadelphia. And again, hopefully that will be to get them interested, or if they already are interested, expose them to our company, exposing to our technology. Now, we know we can't hire all of them, but the ultimate selfish goal is ultimately through intern programs and these programs, we get people who want to stay in the area and who really want to pursue that as a career, and we have prospective employees long term. So one of our initial efforts, and you may wonder, why is Chris Lehman here? Why is the school district here? It's really us forming a partnership, a beginning of our partnership with the school district, and specific with that, with what they call the Science and Leadership Academy. And that's a joint venture between the school district and the Philadelphia and the Franklin Institute. Actually, the SLA is located just right north of our headquarters with Chris Lehman and his group. And they already have, in a very short period of time, over 6 years, developed a lot of national recognition for the programs and what they're doing. So additionally with that, I'd like to recognize Dr. William Height, who's superintendent of the school district, who we talked about earlier, and also Fred Bertley, who's the senior vice president for the Science and Education at the Franklin Institute, and representatives of the SLA student body who are here joining us today. So while our first initiative is with the SLA, we look forward to guidance from the school district as we work to be a responsible member of the community and also hopefully get kids interested in what we do for a living and what we think makes a difference in society longer term. So with that, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Chris to you for a couple comments, then I'll come back up and we'll wrap it up. So thank you, Chris.
Thank you. It's really my pleasure to be here. Number one, so much talk about innovation and potential today, and I think it's incredibly important to recognize that under Dr. Height's leadership, this is an incredible time in the school district of Philadelphia. In the last couple of years, we've opened up 5 new schools, all of which have an innovative focus that look at preparing children, not just for STEM careers, but for a 21st century world. We know that we cannot educate children the way that we always have in a world that is nothing like what we have seen before. And Dr. Height, thank you so much for your leadership, and thank you for being here today. So, I think we can. Part of the new model of education, part of a new innovative model, is the idea of partnerships and the idea of including all of us in the education of our children. So with that, we are thrilled to have Axalta here. We are thrilled to have them partner with us, an organization with an international focus on innovation, on research and development, and they had to spell it out for me also, is just an incredibly exciting thing. SLA cannot wait to work with them. We are excited to see the facility built. We're excited to have our students on this campus, working with them, and we share that hope that we will someday see our alumni working with you. And with that, Chairman Shaver, we want to welcome you to Philadelphia. We have for you your very own SLA lab coat. We're not going to make you put it on right now because it's 100 degrees, but thank you so much. And welcome to Philadelphia for all of you. So with that, I turn it back over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. And again, I think it'll take time, but we look forward to expanding our relationship with the school district, and we'll get some of them over here spray painting cars before it's all over. So get something out of them. No. Before closing out, I did want to recognize. Obviously, we have a lot of people here today, a lot of visitors, a lot of guests. The short period of time we've been here, we've certainly been welcomed as a community and as a company. Today we've got representatives from the 76ers are here, the Philadelphia Eagles. I think Don and his team are here somewhere. If you have comments about our sports teams, they probably would rather you just keep them to yourself. But no, it's an exciting time, and getting ready to kick off the football season here, and basketball not right behind it. And obviously we're partners with them. We actually have a teacher program with the Eagles. I won't get off into all that right now, but we're really enjoying, hopefully what you see is we're enjoying being part of the community and hopefully adding value along the way. So I would like to thank everyone. We got some of our suppliers here today. Again, some of our customers here today. This is really about the customers. I mean, they're the ones who build and pay for this thing. So we don't take that lightly, in that this is an expense. It's something we have to put and we have to pay for. And the only way we do that is coming out with the right products that make their jobs easier and more productive over the long haul. The last person I'd like to recognize, and who a lot of you will see around a lot because he will truly be the owner of the facility over here, is Barry Snyder, our Chief Technology Officer, and I'm not sure where Barry is. There he is, right there. So he's the complaint department and accolades I'm willing to handle. So, but he will call the Naval Yard home. He directs our over 1,400 employees and contractors who head up our technology organization around the world, and it's a big job and a big burden, but hopefully one we're making a little easier for him with this facility. And then last but not least, to Joanne, all her team who have continued to persevere the last couple of years down in Wilmington, waiting to see what we were going to put together for them. I welcome all of you to this facility, and I know we'll do a lot of great work. So if we missed somebody today, I apologize. I want to thank all of our employees. We've got employees here from all of our local facilities here today to share in this, and look forward over the next hour or so to visiting with all of you and spending time. And again, I appreciate it, especially since this is a Texas heat kind of day, for persevering and getting us through it. And it's certainly our blessing for you to come today. So thank you. Matt.
So no change in schedule, but if I can invite our CTC employees to follow the path to the blue buses to get your tour. The buses might even be air conditioned, so you might want to beat a quick path. And the rest of you, please enjoy some refreshments, and thank you all for coming.